In January 2015, Immigration Canada implemented an electronic system called Express Entry to manage the federal skilled worker, the Canadian experience class, the federal skilled trades, and several provincial nominee programs. So in this video, we'll be talking about Express Entry. Express Entry manages applications for 3 economic immigration programs. First is the Federal Skilled Worker Program. Second is the Federal Skilled Trades Program. And the third is the Canadian Experience class. Provinces and territories can also recruit candidates from Express Entry pool through the Provincial Nominee Program, or what we call the PNP, to meet the local labor market needs. Today, we'll be taking a look at the Federal Skilled Worker Program in an Express Entry. So, question, what is the eligibility, or how do you qualify? What are the requirements for you to qualify for this program? This program is for skilled workers with foreign work experience who want to immigrate to Canada permanently. So this is just one, as mentioned earlier, one of the 3 federal programs managed through the Express Entry and the online application system for skilled workers. We will be talking about how this program works, the selection factors, the minimum requirements like skilled work experience, language ability, and education. We also will take a look at the proof of funds, admissibility, where you can live in Canada, and what are the next steps for you to be able to continue your application for the permanent residency here in Canada. So how does this program work? This program has minimum requirements for skilled work experience, language ability, and education. You must meet all the requirements for you to be eligible. Now let's take a look at the selection factors. If you meet all the minimum requirements, then they will assess your application based on your age, your education, your work experience, whether you have a job or a valid job offer, English and or French language depending on to the province where you selected to live in, and also the adaptability, or how well you're likely to settle here in Canada. These factors are part of the 100-point grid used to check your eligibility for the Federal Skilled Worker Program. You earn points for how well you do in each of the factors. So, just an update, the current pass mark is 67 points. Okay, so how are they using the selection factor points? They use the selection factor points to assess your eligibility for the Federal Skilled Worker Program. Once you're in the Express Entry pool, they use a different system to rank your profile. Then they select the highest ranking candidates from the pool and invite them to apply for permanent residency. So the higher the score is, the more chances of winning and getting the application or getting the invitation to apply for permanent residency. So now let's proceed to the minimum requirements. Skilled work experience means that you've worked in one of the NOC, or the National Occupational Classification job groups. First is the skill type O, which is managerial jobs. Second is the skill type A, which is professional jobs. And the third is the skill level B, which is the technical jobs and skilled trades. You must show that while working in your primary occupation, you perform the duties set out in the lead statement of the occupational description in the NOC. This includes all the essential duties and most of the main duties listed. Your skilled work experience must be in the same type of job, have the same NOC as the job you want to use for your immigration application called the primary occupation, and should be within the last 10 years. Also, it has to be a paid work, so you have been paid wages or earned commission. Volunteer work or unpaid internships doesn't count, okay? And at least 1 year of continuous work, or 1,560 hours total. You can meet this in like few different ways, like full-time at a job, like 30 hours per week for in 12 months, like it's like a year of full-time job. And then it could also equal amount in part-time work, or you could have full-time at more than one job, 3 hours per week for 12 months, or more than one job, or 1 year full-time that could count into 1,560 hours in total. So what about part-time work experience? Let's proceed. Your skilled work experience must be paid work, including paid wages or earned commission. We don't count, or they don't count, volunteer work or unpaid internships, okay? For part-time work, you can work more or less than 15 hours per week as long as it adds up to 1,560 hours. You can work more than one part-time job to get the hours, and they don't actually count any hours you work above 30 hours per week. So it has to be 30 hours per week, okay? And another thing is that, what about a student work experience? Work experience gained while you are studying. It may count towards your minimum requirements if the work was paid by wages or commissions, or if it was continuous, no gaps of unemployment, and if it meets all the other requirements of the program. Now, what about the language eligibility? You must take a proof language test in English and or French for writing, reading, listening, and speaking. You have to get a minimum of Canadian language benchmark, or the CLB, of 7 in all 4 abilities, and enter the results in your express entry profile after taking the exam, okay? So your language tests are valid for 2 years after the date of your test result. They must be valid on the day you apply for permanent residence. Education. If you went to school in Canada, you must have a certificate, diploma, or degree from a Canadian secondary institution or high school, or the post-secondary institution. If you have foreign education, you must have a completed credential and an educational credential assessment, we call it ECA, for immigration purposes, from a designated organization, showing that your education is equal to a completed certificate, diploma, or degree from Canadian secondary institution or high school, we call it in the Philippines, or the post-secondary education or institution. Now, what about the proof of funds? You must show that you have enough money for you and your family to settle in Canada, unless you are currently able to legally work in Canada and or have a valid job offer from an employer here in Canada. Admissibility. You must be admissible to Canada. Where can you live in Canada? You must plan to live outside the province of Quebec. So the province of Quebec selects its own skilled workers. I have my previous video talks about the Quebec Skilled Workers Program. It's a separate application for you to immigrate here in Canada. So if you plan in living in Quebec, you have to see or watch my video or take a look at Quebec Selected Skilled Workers for more information. When you fill out your profile, they will ask you where you plan to live in Canada. So you don't have to settle in that province or territory. If you're a provincial nominee, you must settle in the province or territory that nominated you. Okay? So now, what are the documents for express entry? For your profile, you don't need to upload documents to submit a profile, but you may need information from some or all of these documents: a passport or travel document, the language test result, the proof of Canadian education or the educational credential assessment report for immigration purposes, if you're applying through Federal Skilled Worker Program, or if you want to get points for the education you get outside Canada. Now, provincial nomination, if you have one, and written job offer from an employer in Canada if applicable, or if you have one. Proof of experience, certificate of qualification in a trade occupation issued by Canadian province or territory, and then you also need to have your proof of funds. So what about the documents for your application for permanent residence? They invite you to apply, so you'll need to upload copies of the documents you used for your profile. Most applicants will also need to upload police certificates, medical exams, proof of funds, and birth certificate. Required if you're declaring dependent children, of course, and then use a representative form, PDF 137 KB, required if you hired a representative. And then for common law union form, you have the PDF 2.22 MB, required if you've declared a marital status as common law. Then marriage certificate if you're married. If you're divorced, you need to have the divorce certificate or the legal separation agreement, and then adoption certificate. And what about the other documents? You only need to submit this if they needed them in your personalized document checklist. Your application may not be refused or rejected if you don't submit documents. They're only used to check if you meet the requirements of the program you've been applying for. So other documents include proof of relationship to a relative in Canada if you have one, digital photos to confirm your identity, other name to confirm aliases, and authority to release personal information to a designated individual. And also you might need any other documents that you feel are relevant to your application. Okay, after gathering all the information, all the documents that you might need during your application for permanent residency, what's gonna be the next step? You have to submit an express entry profile. So this is just done online, okay? It's an online form. You have to fill it out, and then if you want to come to Canada as a skilled immigrant, your first step is to submit your profile in the express entry pool. If you're eligible, they will place you in a pool with others who are also eligible, give you a score and rank you using several factors, the one I mentioned earlier, and they're gonna invite you to apply for a permanent resident of Canada if you're one of the top candidates, okay? You can only apply online if they send you an invitation to apply. And then completing an online express entry profile or entering the pool doesn't guarantee that they invited you to apply for permanent residence, okay? So take note of that one. What about this eligibility questions? Answer a few questions to see if you're eligible for express entry. It will take you about 15 minutes. I'm gonna be including the link. I'm gonna put the link in the comment section or in the description section of this video, okay? So if you're married or have common law partner, one of you must be the main or the principal applicant, and the other one's gonna be the accompanying applicant, okay? So this person will submit the profile and the list of the spouse and the partner in it. So your principal applicant should be the one of you most likely to meet the eligibility requirements, earn the most points in the selection factors, and earn the most points in Express Entry's comprehensive ranking system. This tool gives you a number at the end. So it's gonna be like a reference code, and the code looks like JM. It's a combination of letters and numbers. So you have to use this number to move your information from the tool to the express entry profile. So might as well take note of that or save that number, okay? So what about the question, how are you gonna create your express entry profile? If you're eligible, the tool will send you your online account to fill out an express entry profile. You just have to follow the instructions to create an account. If you don't already have one, enter your personal reference code, the one I said earlier, when it prompts you, and enter your personal details correctly. So you have to create it in your own account. To complete the profile, you need information from certain documents. For example, language test results, like that. Your national occupational classification, the NOC job. I'm gonna also include the NOC guides in the in the description below. And then you may exit this profile at any time. So you have 60 days to complete and submit your express entry profile. Otherwise, you'll have to start again. Okay? Once you filled out the profile, you can submit it online. They will figure out which immigration program you're eligible for under the express entry. Okay, so after submitting an express entry profile, what do you do while you wait for in the pool? There might be some changes to the express entry system, so you can earn up to 50 additional points for strong French language skills, even if French is your second language. And then new application deadline, if you receive an invitation to apply on or after June 29, 2021, you must submit your application for permanent residence within 60 days. So what to do while you're in the pool? While you wait in the pool, get ready to accept an invitation to apply. If they invited you to apply, again, remember 60 days. And then get your documents ready, okay? Having your documents ready will make it easier to apply within the 60 days. And then the language test, you have to make sure that the language test results are valid. They are valid for 2 years after the date of your test result. They must also be given or be valid on the date that you apply for permanent residence. Okay, now another question. What are you gonna do if you're not invited to apply after submitting all your documents and expressing your interest for the express entry? If you're not invited to apply within 12 months of submitting your express entry profile, it will automatically expire. So you can see this date on your account, and then when your profile expires, it will be removed from the system. You will get a message in your account. You can still create a new profile if you want to, and if your profile is about to expire, you can print out screenshots of your profile to make it easier to re-enter your data. Don't create a new profile until your existing profile expires. So if you do, you'll need to withdraw your existing profile first, okay? So if you don't submit a new profile, you can mention express entry in your profile on any job boards. So if you submit a new profile, you'll get a new express entry profile number, job seeker validation code for the job bank, okay? Other ways to immigrate under express entry, I mentioned earlier, you might consider applying directly to provincial nominee program or find out about other options to immigrate to Canada. There is just a lot more, okay? Okay, so thank you so much for watching, guys. Please do not forget to subscribe, like, and hit the comment section if you have questions regarding the video that that we have today. And just saying hi to my family there in the Philippines, for Joey and LG, my sister and my soon-to-be brother-in-law. Looking forward to see you guys here with us in Quebec specifically, and we'll be updating you more of that, okay? So yeah, just a piece of a reminder. Ask yourself if what you're doing today is getting you closer to where you want to be tomorrow. Okay, so if you have your plan, do what you can while you still can. Have a good day.